Good morning, everyone. How are you today? How are you today, Ange?
I'm fantastic, Michelle, and I'm really happy that you're moving this week because last week you were frozen most of the time. I'm like, oh my God, so that was a little odd. But this week I'm fantastic. What about you, Michelle? How are you feeling
I'm
this week?
I am doing really well, thank you, really well, and enjoying life. I mean, Canberra's only just really getting a taste of what Melbourne has been through and Sydney's been
Oh,
through. But at the moment, bonza, everything's going well. And, hubby and I have just kind of, settled into routine and that sort of thing. And we actually bet a Freddo frog yesterday on whether
okay.
on whether lockdown was going to be extended or not. And
And
he was going, no, it's not going to be extended. We're going to, lockdown won't be extended. And I'm going, I think we've got at least another 2 weeks. And he's going, I bet you Freddo frog. So we put a Freddo frog on it.
that's
I
in the
go for
budget.
the frog.
Did it get extended yesterday?
It did. So we've got
Oh,
until, I think it's the 17th of September now.
oh, I didn't hear that. I talked to my kids yesterday, but they didn't mention that.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about other things, I suppose.
Yeah. So we've got
Is
until
that
the
till the
17th.
17th? Oh my God.
And, and I guess it is all in the way that you frame it, isn't it?
Yep,
And I mean,
it
you would
is.
know, as with the people
Yep.
of Melbourne know, it's all about the way you frame it. So, but today we're going to be talking about our purpose and being on purpose and belonging while you stay on purpose.
Yeah, because
And I
often
think
that
this
does
is,
mean a shift, doesn't it? Like
it
if you're going to start
does.
to belong to something new, or
Yeah.
even if you're belonging to something that you really love, there are changes in that. So how do you keep that certainty of belonging there?
Yeah. I was thinking yesterday when we were talking about this that one of the things, whenever something changes, you always have people in your life who won't necessarily like it. And it's generally the people who love you most because they're wanting to keep you safe. So a little
Yes.
bit like your unconscious mind, your subconscious, your ego that wants to keep you safe. So they'll tell you, no, don't do it, or don't do this, or don't do that, or that's not a good idea, or whatever. But they're really about keeping you safe. So how do you manage that at the same time as seek out what your purpose in life is and how to stay aligned with that? So I guess there's quite some meat in this topic.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And it is how to be aligned with it and to stay true to your purpose. But do you know, often first it's about finding your purpose. Like sometimes I meet people that go, I just don't have a purpose. And
Yeah,
I'm like, well, if you don't have a purpose, look back at what you loved when you were a child,
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's clues in that. There's clues in what you were drawn to. Was it dancing? Was it woodwork? Was it singing? Was it driving fast cars? I don't know, whatever it was, but there's clues in what you loved if you don't have a purpose. But we were talking about how important it is to have a purpose, especially like we are in, like, I think week 9 or 10 of lockdown. And if I didn't have Bling as my purpose, now, like yourself, where we are very lucky, our jobs are what we love to do. Like this is, I could do this for free. And for many years, I have done it for free because I just loved it so much. I just would get up every day and create something for Bling or connect with the Bling babes, however it be.
yeah.
But that was always my purpose, was personal development and teaching people how to have a more enriched life. So
Yeah.
I get up every day thinking about that regardless. Now,
Mm.
I'm not sure that, I'm sure you've had different purposes over the time. I mean, I was a horse rider, so that took up a lot of time when I loved horse riding. Um, but I think first you find the purpose, and sometimes people think their purpose has to be what they're making money out of. But in actual fact, you could be going to work and your purpose that you get up for every day is not in there, because it could be a garden. It could be looking after, you know, animals, sick animals. It could be anything like that. So I suppose before we become aligned with that belonging, we need to find what our purpose is.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, Michelle? What do you think
Yeah.
about?
Look, I remember a time, Ange, when it was when I came back from Afghanistan, actually, and I was like, okay, what now?
Yeah.
You know, and I really felt adrift, and I was just like, I don't feel like I have any goals. I don't feel like I have a purpose.
Yeah.
And that's a really tough time, because I think
Yeah.
when you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a reason for getting up and getting out of bed, that can be quite challenging from a mental health perspective, an incredibly challenging time from a mental health perspective. The other challenging time, I think, is when, like I was saying before, when, you know, your family and your spouse and that sort of thing, they're kind of having to take priority. And as women, we tend to put everybody else first, and we don't follow our purpose, or we push our purpose down inside ourselves, and we think, oh, we'll have time for that later, or, you know, oh, it's okay, this is more important at the time. You know, I'm a carer for elderly parents, or, you know, I've got the kids, or I'm helping my husband to do XYZ, or my wife, for, you know, my spouse, whatever terminology you're more comfortable with. You know, I think that's a pretty tough time, because this today is all about, you know, following your purpose, no, you know, and staying true, because that's that sense of belonging within
Oh,
yourself,
100%.
sense of belonging with other people.
Yeah. Depending on whatever your purpose is, but it
Mm,
fills your heart. A
it does.
purpose fills your heart and soul. So even like you were saying about living, if you're looking after elderly parents, even if you can give yourself 1 hour a day to follow whatever your purpose is, whether it's restoring old books or whether it is connecting with people, because I suppose not everybody's purpose is about connecting with people. For
Mm,
someone like you and I, purpose is generally about connection.
mm,
There are people out there that they would prefer to learn how to do something, and their purpose could be more a solitary thing. And that's a good thing too. I think sometimes people are always thinking that the purpose needs to be with other people. Well, it doesn't, because what I thought of men, especially straight away, that, you know, building those ships, they just love to be in their shed and they just love to build a ship. You know, like a purpose could be something where you're just fulfilling your soul, creating something. It doesn't have to be that. And it is time for women to stop giving themselves up to everyone around them. And I know that you've heard me say this before, you are teaching your girls what to do. So the more you deny yourself of your purpose, then your girls are learning, oh, yeah, that's right. I watched mum, and mum's not allowed to follow her dreams or her purpose, so neither am I. So we really need to connect with that part of us that is fulfilling our soul, so they can see us fulfilled, as well as being the carer, because the carer has so many hats, doesn't it?
oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I think so your purpose is really about those things. Can you just give me a sec? I won't be.
Okay. Don't know what's happening. That's funny.
Sorry, one of the joys of being live, and hubby's heating up a cup of coffee and doing bits and bobs in the kitchen, and I'm just like, no, this is so loud. Yeah, so your purpose is really about those things that get you out of bed, that you're motivated with, that
Yes, I love that. Get out of
yeah,
bed, motivated.
it's things that make you happy, and it might be something about giving back, like you're saying, you know, it might be about creating, it might be about working in nature, you know, like planting trees and tending gardens and that sort of thing. But people often have bumps in the road, don't they, Ange? Like,
Oh my God, yes, because people will have resistance. Is that good for you? Oh, you're giving that too much time. You know, are you spending enough time over here, and you really don't need to be giving that so much time? Like, how many times have women come to me and said, oh, my husband's not happy that I'm doing this? I'm like, well, the fact is you're doing this all week. It's nice for you to give yourself an hour or two a week. More obviously, I would agree on. But sometimes we need to start with the baby steps forward. We need to start going, okay, well, it's a long time since I've actually done something for myself. And, you know, I'm always saying life leaves clues. What do you go to bed at night thinking about? You know, what is something that you secretly desire or you secretly think about? That's the clue. Is it going and doing dancing? What is it that you keep putting off that you know is a purpose for you? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
just want to say good day to Janine. I know she said she couldn't make it today, but she's online and she's laughing and she's laughing. She's laughing at me. Talking about how seamless hubby and I have just fitted in together today. Isn't that Murphy's rules? Huh? Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's always
Murphy's
the way.
law?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So yeah, there are a number of bumps in the road, and I think like I've had a number of bumps in the road, and I feel like even though my purpose, for me, my purpose is about helping others.
Okay, this is good because I was going to ask you what your purpose was, so that then you can share your bumps in the road. So what do you feel your purpose is right now, Michelle?
So I think my purpose has narrowed, and I think
Oh,
I've been able
nice.
to. So I started off, even as a teenager, and when I started off nursing and all of that sort of thing, for me, it was always about helping people and wanting to be able to give to others. And, so I followed that path, and I had a very big, wide kind of purpose. And I've been able to narrow that down to now I'm really focused on helping women to be able to dream and find their successes,
Oh,
like
that's nice.
define what success is for them and help them to get there. So whether success is, a caravan with their cat or their dog down by the beach and living a fairly solitary life, whether that's success for them, or whether it's, having it all and, the flash cars and flash house and all of that sort of thing. So, or anywhere in between, success for some women is raising their children and having
Yeah,
their
that's right.
children,
And that's a good success too.
Absolutely. So whatever success is for them. So I've been able to refine, I guess, my purpose down to what gets me out of bed now is being able to help women put in place things that are going to lead to the success that they define.
Right. So this is what you go to bed thinking about. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's really fantastic. And I think it's a nice way to find your purpose. And it's nice that you wake up thinking, who can I serve today? Who can I get on the path where they're wanting to go? Who can I help get from A to B? Yeah, that's
absolutely.
nice. I
And
love that.
That's exactly right. That's what I go to bed thinking of. Who can I help? How
Yeah.
can I help them? Is it through fundraising? Is it through providing services? How can I actually do this? So for me, it's been quite a path, quite a journey, because as I said, when I came back from Afghanistan, I really didn't feel like I had a purpose. And then when I was discharged from the military and I had lots of negative stuff going along in my mind of I'm not good enough, I'm useless,
No,
worthless, all of that sort of
oh
thing.
my God.
That was a real blip in the path as well, because I knew my purpose was, or I know that my purpose is to help people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just refining that down. So how about you, Ange? Have you had a few blips in the road?
Oh my God. Yes. And I think for anyone anyone who chooses coaching as a path would know that sometimes there's lots of clients, sometimes there's no clients. So I think your blips in your road are when you're you have all this wonderful knowledge, but you've got to learn. If the bump in the road is learning how to allow people to come to you, not go to them, if that makes sense. Like people have to find what you've got that is aligned with them, and you need to find them that you're aligned with them. And I suppose I don't think I ever really took off in one-on-one coaching, although I did like it. I didn't love it. But about probably 12 years ago, when I started doing group work, that was when I really thrived. I love groups of women together. So I suppose in finding your purpose, I love that you said you wake up knowing that you want to help people and serve. I would say our purpose is very similar. We're both very dedicated to personal development. We both read a lot. We are lifetime learners, so we would love to share what we have. And I suppose our purposes are very similar. Does that make sense? But
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
that, you need to find the course that you're going to run. So my successful course was a 12-week course that I ran over and over and over and over again, which I absolutely love. But you would change it as you went along,
Mm.
and the bumps in the roads of doing that. Because whenever you create something new and you change it, it's scary. So your purpose doesn't always mean a smooth path. Sometimes it means being very dedicated. If I had $1 for every time someone told me to give up my game, I probably wouldn't need to make the game. I'd be that rich. You know, people would go, oh, why are you doing that? There's heaps of games on the market, or people already have cards. I'm like, yeah, but these are my cards. This is my flavor of how I see the world. And, you know, I wanted to leave a legacy for my children. I wanted to leave something that they would have of me that when I'm gone, they
Yeah.
could still feel how I think. And even though half the time they think it's absolutely nutty now, maybe in 10 years they might go, Mum actually was making a bit of sense.
Well,
Who knows?
I'm really glad that you didn't listen to them, because I love the game. I'm a huge proponent of this game. I love it. I love what it brings out. It's fantastic. Just wanted to say hi to Jackie as well. She's listening in, and Janine, Janine and I don't know what it is between us, Janine. We seem to have this thing with meetings and missing times and what have you. And Janine's just, when she said she wasn't going to be able to make it today, she had a meeting. It turns out the meeting's next week, so she was super early. When we were first getting to know each other, and we had a meeting, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I ended up sending her a text, you know, I hope everything's okay. And she was like, oh, I was waiting to past.
Oh.
No, our meeting was at the top of the hour. And then the other weekend we were getting together, and we had a meeting at, I don't know, 9:30 or something. And I was in cleaning my teeth and all that sort of thing, and, you know, shiny things. And I thought, oh, I might just wipe this down in the bathroom, might wipe that down. And then I suddenly realized it's 25 to 10. I'm like going, oh my gosh, I'm late. And Janine's going, is this payback? No.
No.
Not at all. So yes, we seem to have something going there with getting our calendars together and
Getting it all aligned.
Yeah, getting it all aligned. But yeah, Jackie and Janine, if you are listening, we'd love to hear about your purpose and how you found it. And
I know secretly what Jackie's purpose is, but let's see if she'd love to share online. It's so exciting.
Well, yes, Jackie has a big picture. She has a big, hairy, audacious goal.
It is so fantastic. It's going to, you know, I know that everyone knows that Bling is about healing hearts all over the world. Has Jackie said anything on our little chat?
No, I'm keeping an eye out.
I would love to share. It's very exciting, and it's very exciting that I think one thing on purpose is it doesn't have to be a big purpose. And I loved how you shared that there was quite a while where you felt you had no purpose. And I'm sure there's been times in my life where I felt I had no purpose either. I just cannot identify as quickly as you could about that coming back from Afghanistan, which I can only imagine what you needed to work through to feel good again. And even in just saying that, I think one of the things that I remember when there was a really low period of my life, my purpose was just getting up and having a shower.
Yes.
So I think sometimes look at where your life is and something that's going to move you forward. Because I remember there were a few times I was completely shell-shocked in my life, and I needed time to catch my breath. And it's like you live in a fog, which you might be able to relate to, I'm thinking, coming back from Afghanistan. And so sometimes your purpose is actually rebuilding just who you are.
That's a really good frame. I like that frame, because that's exactly, when I look back now, that's exactly what my purpose was to rebuild, reestablish. That's so
how did you do that, Michelle? That's a really good one. How did you actually do that?
Jeepers, that I float along. It took me it's taken me almost,
excuse me, I've got a bit of sinus.
It's taken me almost 10 years, I think, to really hone it down. And even so, I floated for 7 years just doing what everybody else wanted me to do.
Yeah, because you thought that was a
So,
good thing.
well, it gave me space, I guess, to heal and stuff like that. But realistically, I didn't feel good. I didn't feel aligned. I just felt like I was going along with it.
You
And
felt
I know
like you
we
were
talked,
in the groove, yeah? Like you were just, it was motionless.
yeah,
It
I
was
was
a
just
motion, but a
functioning.
bit, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
functioning. I was doing what other people asked of me and all of that sort of thing. And I know we talked about yesterday when you're going against the grain, it's actually not great for your mental health, for your spiritual health, for your physical health,
No.
because if you're not following a purpose, it really puts you under. And so I just kind of followed along for about 7 years, and then I was discharged from the military and hit a real low where, again, it was kind of like, well, I didn't even have anybody telling me what to do, so where's my purpose?
Wow.
And so it really caused me to go back right to the foundations and go, okay, what things am I good at? What things do I enjoy?
Yep, going back to the
What do I,
childhood.
yeah,
Even,
what do
yep.
I normally enjoy? And what sort of things do I get, do I feel good about?
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's a clue. What do I feel
yeah,
good about is a clue.
yeah, absolutely. So so I went into multi-level marketing with a skincare company, which I absolutely loved, and I loved the support and I loved the products and all of that sort of thing.
But
And it gave me
purpose and
belonging.
belonging. Yep,
And
love it.
it gave me an opportunity to belong to a group, to a community group. It gave me an opportunity to help people again. So I was kind of meshing that belonging with community with purpose.
Oh, I love that.
And then after that, coming down at the end of last year, I was kind of like, I really want to hone in and help women, by the time they get to the end of their working life, I want to help them so early so that when they do get to the end of their working life, they're not facing poverty and homelessness. And that has really helped me to narrow down my purpose and my path. So that whole exploration of the last nearly 4 years now, it's taken me quite a while, actually, if I extend it back to 2010, so it's 11 years now. It's been quite a journey. It's not something that came to me immediately. It's something that's evolved and developed.
That's nice. And because before you were saying about the bumps in the road. So do you think a purpose is a calling?
So I always thought of a number of jobs, if you will, as vocations, so a calling. So you might talk about a religious, a minister of religion is a calling. Nursing is more of a calling than it's a job.
Sure is.
So much stuff that you have to do that you kind of just go, you know what, normal people don't like this stuff.
No.
So it has to be a bit of a calling.
I cannot do snot.
Same with medicine and that sort of thing. So there's a number of things that are calling. But I think I really do believe that your purpose is your calling. I think that's, it's interchangeable. The word's interchangeable.
Nice. Because you think about people that they're looking after animals, it is a real calling. Like, I mean, I know I talk about Katrina all the time because I just absolutely adore that woman, but she is like on a real calling.
She is.
It makes me remember, I haven't donated to her fund yet. I need to hop on and do that. I hopped on the other day and it wouldn't go through. Yeah. But I would say, and actually you just gave us another clue into callings here. A calling is when you can see someone has a certainty and a passion, and absolutely. They are just, and that is what, even when people are trying to talk you out of it, I had people all the time also. I had one person say, oh, your bling bubbles are a bit dull. I'm like, oh, that's okay. I just like them. I put them up for me and if other people like them. And now I'm creating a book out of them and people have said, I can't wait to buy the book. So that's I think awesome. If you feel that you have a purpose, there are going to be people that some people are, you're right, keeping you safe. They've decided that, oh, we don't want you to get hurt. Mm-hmm. And I think there's some people that just don't believe in what you're doing. And I think you've just got to say, well, that's okay. You don't believe what I'm doing. And thanks for sharing, but maybe what they're doing isn't what you would want to do either. Because some people just like to stay in their box, on their lane. They
That's
don't
right.
use other lanes and other ways.
That's right.
So I think today another clue in here would be, if you feel you have that calling and people are giving you negative vibes, just say thank you and let it go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you're on purpose, you're going to keep going.
That's exactly right. And if you're aligned with your purpose,
Yep.
and like you say, on purpose, it doesn't matter what anyone says, because you know that that's what you have to give. You know
Absolutely.
that that's where you should be. And
You can do
Janine's
it.
saying that her purpose is supporting women in more ways than one. Janine's a bracket, guys.
I love it. I know, Janine, I need you to send me your number so I can book in. Because everyone's telling me how great it is, and they get these bras that are super comfy. And I do have comfy bras, but I'd like to get a new one. So that would be fantastic. I would love that. Janine, I don't know how to connect.
Sorry, you just had a bright idea, and I'm sorry I distracted you.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Wasn't probably. Oh, I know what it was going to be. It's like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay.
How many times did he go around? And not that I think Kentucky Fried Chicken is good for you by any means. However, it was something like 64. I don't remember the story exactly, but he went around to so many people and they kept telling him it wasn't a good idea. And he's like, "Oh, I really love the taste of this. I love what I'm doing." And he just kept going. I'm sorry about my fringe, guys. How fun is that? Now it's riding up. That's so funny. I had a little hack again today, but I've done it so blunt. Might need to get in and do some feathering. I've done it so blunt, it looks like I've stuck a bowl on my head. That is actually hilarious. Sorry, it's better that I just kept looking at you. I should have never looked over. Anyway, doesn't matter. Can't be worried about these things in COVID. That is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
But getting back to that purpose, people aren't always going to believe in your purpose. They're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if you're doing something like Patrina for Animals, people see your purpose, they want to contribute to your purpose, and it's great. But if you are on a path where your purpose is not everyone's cup of tea, I think Michelle and I are here to encourage you to keep going. Just keep going. And
Absolutely.
sometimes your purpose is about surrounding yourself with like-minded people that actually want that for you too. And I think you mentioned that before, that you need to step outside the box and you need to find those like-minded people that are on the same path. Like, you think about it, when you're married, you really hang around with married people, but then when your life changes, if it changes and you end up on a different path and you do separate, then you generally will hang around more with separated people. And we've already done a video about that, so we won't go on about that. But I think life changes and we just have to get comfortable with getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point there, that when you're on purpose, there are times when you're actually going to leave people behind.
Yeah, that is
and they could
true.
be people that you care about deeply.
Yeah.
But for you to remain on purpose, you have to leave them behind. And that's one of the things that what are you prepared to do to achieve your success? What are you prepared to give up? And sometimes it's about giving up people.
Wow, do you know what? You've just given me chills when you've said that, because you even think about, if your purpose is the higher purpose of love and a family, and you're with someone who doesn't really want a family, then, like, our purposes are all so different. So maybe finding that purpose you're talking about, it requires a change. It requires separating from some people, whether they believe in you or don't believe in you. And sometimes as you're starting to change and people see your success, they actually don't like who you are, the new you. They liked you more in the state of unsureness, because maybe they're unsure. So if they're unsure and you're unsure, you're a match. But then once you're not unsure and you've got focus, then they don't like you so much anymore, because you're challenging them with what they're doing with their life. So I think, and I love to think that even when those relationships have changed, there's an opportunity for them to flourish again in a different way. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes you're just too different now. But I think it's that sometimes it does require a breakaway.
Yeah, a bless and release, I think.
Bless and release. Oh, I like that. That's a goodie, Michelle. I haven't heard that one. A bless and release. I like that.
So we're going to pull a card today, Ange.
Okay.
Let's pull a card from the Believe deck.
We're pulling a card. for people for a message on their purpose. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. All right. So let's have a look. And our card today is, oh my God. Okay. 2 have fallen out. So we're going to take the 2 that have fallen out. The first one is, am I resisting change?
Ooh. So for everyone out there who's thinking about their purpose, are you resisting change?
Are you resisting change?
And if you're resisting change, where are you resisting the change?
Yeah, and maybe don't resist it, embrace it.
Yeah.
I'm a big one.
What
If
would
I feel the
happen?
change coming, I embrace it. I go, okay, what's there to learn? Feel the thunder and just go.
Yeah.
You know, you may as well walk. I love that card in the Bling game that says, go through, never round. And that came from Marianne Williamson's book. And she talks about how the buffalo never go round a storm, they go through the
through it. Yeah. Go through the storm. Yeah.
And the other one is, am I comfortable with being uncomfortable? Well, that's pretty similar. So I think the message here is, follow your dreams, follow your passion. You know, you can keep going. You don't need to give up. You just need to surround yourself with people who believe in your purpose as well. And sometimes that might be doing it solo for a little while before you find the next group of people that you belong to. Don't remember, only strong people walk alone for a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to walk alone, but it's what's required. You often will need to do a little bit of time alone. That's where you gather lots of great information. There's a lot of growth that happens. And so it's almost like you're refreshed and new to go into the new group with your new dreams, with your new vision.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, because I think that's a part of your life where you need to belong to you. You need to be very settled in yourself before you can belong to others of the same vibration. So,
Michelle, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, awesome.
And
well,
keep going. Is there any questions from Michelle or Jackie?
Janine was saying that it was something that she was just thinking about. So isn't that awesome how it all seems to just come around, and it's there at the right time. Whatever you need is there at the right time.
It's trusting the process.
Yeah, it is.
Trust the process. Breathe into it and keep going. Follow that purpose. Play a bigger game and keep going. I think that's my little takeaway today. What's your takeaway, Michelle?
Oh my gosh, my takeaway is that believe in my purpose and stay with it. Don't take people who see me every now and then, take their opinion as gospel when I'm living it every day and I know what I want. So why would I take somebody else's opinion?
That's right, because dreams can come true.
That's right. Exactly.
They do. All right. Well, I think that's it for this week for us. We cannot wait to see you next week. And thanks again, Michelle. Always love being with you.
You too, Ange.
And we'll see you next week, guys, at Life's Better Together.
At 10 o'clock, this channel, same bat channel, same bat place.
I know.
Thanks for coming along, ladies.
Bling place.